the course of 9 weeks, different projects have taken place at the Roundhouse in Camden, asking the question that everyone wants answered. Happiness. What is it? Following a report by UNICEF claiming that young people in Britain are the unhappiest in Europe, we decided to try and find out why our young people are so unhappy and what can be done to change it.
Happiness is a lot of different things, but in my opinion, happiness would have to be comfort. Being in a place that you feel comfortable and safe, being around people that make you happy. Our main goal is obviously to make the documentary, but I feel like it's more about exploring what happiness truly is. My views on happiness have already started to change because of the different things we've learned from the different people that we've encountered and the scientists.
And what we found was that what makes people's happiness go up is when things are going better than expected. And when things are going worse than expected, their happiness goes down. So it's not just how well people are doing overall, it's how well people are doing relative to their expectations. And we also found that there's an area of the brain called the striatum, where there's a neurotransmitter called dopamine, a chemical that gets released in this area, which we think is important for this. This area, the striatum, if we looked at the signal in this area, we could predict what people's next happiness rating would be. So we could predict how much their happiness would change because of the events that happened to them during the game.
A list of things I feel like I'm being sold. Knitting wool, judo kit, high heels from Prada, Jack Will's coat, North Face backpack, nail polish, thicker longer hair, longer nails, unblemished skin, stronger body.
The adverts tell you can't be gay if you're buying a sofa, and you have to be a white woman married to a black man with 2 mixed-race perfect children.
Do Dane back. I love you and your bacon. You have fulfilled my every need. Before bacon, I was a mindless, stupid boy. Now I'm a man.
Dear EE, or Everything Everywhere. It turns out I don't need everything everywhere. Thank you for your salesmanship. 24-month contract holder.
Yours faithfully, a fan who was sorely mistaken.
I think consumerism affects young people in a negative but also a positive way. So what I mean by that is young people want to buy a lot of things and they have to buy a lot of things. Like without buying something, they're not going to have the basic needs. But the negative part would be that they might end up buying things just because it's branded, partly to do with peer pressure and whatnot.
Also, there's a lot of false advertising where they'll try and advertise products and say, if you buy this, you'll have a perfect lifestyle.
I think that when young people buy something, they will get the latest designer brands, and then say somebody sees their mates wearing the latest clothes and it looks really nice. They won't necessarily need it, but because their friends have it, their friends might boast about it, and then they'll want to go out and get it as well. We are kind of misled into buying the latest things just so companies can make money. But overall, I'd say I do end up buying a lot of things just for the sake of it.
Yeah, so I think the environment's really important because that's when you see your environment, you have expectations about how things are going to go. So you know, okay, well, this looks good, like I know what to do here, but if you get thrown into a different environment, you might expect that until you can figure stuff out, you're going to be unhappy because you're trying to figure out what do I need to do in this environment. Like if you're playing a game, your happiness won't depend on how well you're doing, but it's always going to depend on your expectations, which are always constantly changing depending on what's happening to you in the environment.
Well, we're really privileged because school is obviously free, so we get to go to school every day, even if we are forced to do subjects we don't want to do, but it still gives us so many options in the future. I've chosen the subjects I want to do and all the choices being mine.
I like going to school because of the people I'm around. I think you would enjoy school more if you're in college because you get to pick what you want to do. Even though in GCSEs, like, you pick some subjects, some of them are compulsory. So I think that I do enjoy school, but sometimes, like, I don't like it because I have to do some lessons I don't want to do.
I used to live in America, so I use social media to keep in touch with my friends. That because it's kind of hard to like write to them and that kind of stuff, so I keep in touch with them on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. So it's easier to keep touch.
I more use social media when I'm bored, so I'm assuming escapism out of that. In case I don't really want to do anything else, I just go on social media, see what everyone else is doing, seeing that they're having a good time, and I'm just sitting there, just looking at what they're doing.
Girls at my school and girls my age find that social media really affects them when it comes to their appearance because they feel like they've got to look perfect.
It's a problem though, that people use escapism on social media. It's a big problem. The way that people should deal with the problem of escapism, it's like, telling someone to stop smoking. It's like an addiction.
Everyone has different things that determine their individual happiness. Happiness is a very personal thing. It shouldn't be that the things that matter to you are exactly the same things that matter to a friend or your sibling or your parent. And so everyone needs to think about what are the things that matter to me, what are the things that are going to matter for my happiness. So in your case, it might be, the mindfulness might be a really great thing that you can do each day. It just takes a few minutes, and if that's the case, you should definitely do that kind of thing. Everyone needs to kind of figure out what matters to them and what helps them.
I'd say it does matter that we're happy, because mood affects a lot of what you do. When I'm sad, I don't particularly feel like doing anything. So I think happiness is important for us. We should try and be happy, but it's also important that we're not always happy, because if you're always happy, how do you know when you aren't?